What is up, Heart and Soul family? Welcome to the first ever Mental Skills Monday video. This is a series. We're having this every other Monday. I want you to tune in because we've got raw, honest, straightforward, direct conversations about the mental game, things that we all struggle with from time to time, and things that we all succeed at from time to time. So we're just going to have an honest conversation. And today's video is on this. Why shouldn't athletes play careful? Why shouldn't athletes play careful? We're getting into that today. Alright, so we're going to start this video off with a question. The question is this: what is the goal of optimal performance? And what does optimal performance even mean? It basically means it's you on your best day. It's you playing your best game. It's you striving and reaching your potential. It's you playing in that zone, right? If you will, it's you playing just organically. The game's coming organically and naturally to you. You're not thinking very much. You're just playing, right? That's the optimal zone we want to be in. What's the goal of that? What does that feel like? What kind of thoughts do we have when we're in that zone? It's basically this: we're playing free. Free from what? Free from worry, free from doubt, free from hesitation, free from fear, right? You name it. We're just playing our game, and we're not so concerned about things outside of our control. We're just playing our game, right? So that's what the goal is. That's what we want to play, right? How do we do that? Well, I'm going to go over 3 key things that are going to help you to overcome these things and be able to play in this optimal zone and not to play as careful or as hesitant as you might be playing or find yourself playing recently. But here's the thing: I want to kind of dive into examples of what it means when we're not playing free, because I've experienced this myself as an athlete, and I've seen it as a coach, right? And you've probably seen it if you're a coach or a trainer. You've seen it as well. What does it look like? It's that player that has a number of unforced errors, right? They traveled, double dribbled, they made some turnovers, some passes that weren't so great. It turns into a snowball effect, right? And you see it happen over and over in the game. It's that player that's constantly looking to the bench, looking to the crowd, at their parent or their coach, try to get some analyze the body language, see if they're getting any positive or negative feedback. Am I going to get subbed out, right? So they're totally not even focused on the game, right? Focus on other things, and that causes them not to play as free as they should be. It's the tennis player who is afraid to make that swing or execute that game plan, right? Because they're fearful of kind of the consequence of that, whether or not it's going to be successful or not. They're fear of taking that risk, right? It's that pitcher in softball or baseball who they've thrown a couple of balls. They think this pitch is going to work. It hasn't worked in the past, but they think they should throw this pitch. But since there's risk involved, or they've experienced failure within the game, they don't throw that pitch at all, or they do, and it's just the mechanics aren't there. It's not a strong pitch. They weren't fully committed to it, right? Things like that. It's that football player that knows their route, but they've missed a few balls prior to that play, so they don't really run that route as strong and as committed as they should. Fill in the blank, right? You as a player, you know what it looks like when you don't play free, mentally free, and you don't allow the game to come to you naturally. You know what that looks like. So I want you to imagine that, and here are the 3 things I want to share with you. Try them out, right? Try them out, and if you want more detail on this, go ahead and comment, DM me, private message me, whatever. Reach out to me. Maybe we can start working. But this is something that a lot of us deal with, so don't even feel ashamed about it. This is something that we all deal with. But here's 3 things that we could do. All right, so number 1, trust your training. Right, trust your training. Okay, you go in daily, you go in weekly to put in hours, and nowadays youth sports, youth athletes, college athletes, pro, we put in hours, right? We grind till we can't even walk, right? So trust the training you put in, right? You don't put in that training for nothing. Obviously, you do it to increase your speed, your agility, right? Your strength, your technique, right? Go over plays and things like that. We practice. So there's a physical kind of benefit to that, right? Obviously. But if you're a coach, if you're a personal trainer, a basketball trainer, a football trainer, or a coach of any kind, it's your responsibility. It's our responsibility that when these players come into our sessions and our practices and get better at the physical things, that we don't let them leave the gym, leave the field without reminding them what kind of impact this also has on their mental game, right? That when they step into the game next week, they can trust themselves, they can throw that pitch, they can take that shot because we worked on it time and time again, And no matter what the situation is, they can trust their training. They can trust the work they put in. It's our responsibility to remind them of that. And if you're an athlete, it's also your responsibility to remind yourself of that every game, even in the moments when things aren't going your way, that it's okay, right? You can trust the work you put in, and you can continue to try to execute the game plan, right? And be able to adapt accordingly. Second one is this, and it's also kind of related, but it's risk. I've worked with teams, I work with athletes who struggle with this, where if there's any risk involved, they don't really want to take the chance on that shot, or take a chance on that swing, or that pitch, or that whatever it is, because there's a chance of failure. And they're just not quite sure about it, and it's a snowball effect that affects the rest of their game, or they end up not playing their game. But what if you considered this? That risk is 100% a part of the game. Why is that? Because the outcome is always uncertain, right? We can talk about stats, we can talk about, past performance and success, stuff like that, to try to predict certain outcomes, but we can't 100% predict outcomes. Therefore, risk is a part of it, just naturally a part of the game. So if that's embedded in the game, let's not worry about that, right? Because it's outside of our control, for one. Right, but what we can control is our effort, our technique, right? The kind of our game plan, our strategy. That's where we put our effort and attention, and we fully commit to that, right? So if we succeed, great, let's keep moving. If we fail, make a mistake, great, okay, let's keep moving. Why great? Because we can learn from that, adapt to that, and then we continue to play our game, right? So risk is just a part of the equation. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on what we can control, right? So the risk doesn't start to influence our mindset and cause us to play more careful and more hesitant, all right? Thirdly, last one here is an acronym for you. It's STEP. S-T-E-P stands for Successful Thoughts Every Play. Shout out to my colleague Brian Stark for this one. We created this one ourselves. STEP is important. Why? Because no matter what you do, what kind of athlete you are, you always step into certain situations. You step onto the field, you step onto court, right? You step into the conference room. If you're a business investor, whatever you do, we all step into something. Either that's a confident step or it's not. It's a doubtful step, and we've got to pick which one we want to do. Hopefully it's a confident one. How do we do that? STEP stands for this: successful thoughts every play, every possession, every performance. Fill in the blank for what fits for you, but basically it's this: it's playing to win, right? When we play to win, we're focused on what we want to happen. Okay, the opposite of that is playing not to lose, which I'm sure we've all experienced at some point. What happens then? We're focused on what we don't want to happen. We're focused on the what ifs. Well, if I do this, then that might happen, and I failed so many times, or I made that mistake, and so I don't, right? We get into this whirlwind of focusing on things we can't really control, and what we think might happen, and this and that, and the risk and all. Hey, stop that. Focus on what you want to happen, what you want to execute, and again, 100% commit to that. And trust that you're resilient enough to deal with whether or not that goes your way or not. All right? So I want you to kind of implement these things. Think about these things. If you're a coach, if you're a parent, talk to your kids about this. Talk to your athletes about this. This is definitely going to help that athlete who you see might tend to play careful, tend to play hesitant, or deal with confidence issues during play. All right, thanks for tuning in. Point blank period, guys. Playing careful takes away from your edge. It takes away from your edge. It takes away from your mental game. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want to optimize our mental game. We want to really succeed in this area and be able to deal with whatever comes our way. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in for next Monday. So not this Monday, but we're going to skip a Monday. Every other Monday, we have these Mental Skill Monday videos. Comment below. Email me. Text. DM me, whatever, just contact me. Let me know what you want to talk about, what you want me to address. We're going to have straightforward conversations about it, and hopefully we can get better. Thanks for tuning in.